Hi, I'm Scott. This is a little bit different video because in this one I'm going to review a keyboard stand of all things, but this one's a bit different. Coming up. I've had comments on my videos before where people accuse me of just taking free stuff, free synthesizers from various manufacturers, and I'm just some kind of shill promoting synthesizers in exchange for free gear. Nothing could be farther from the truth. I have never had a free or discounted anything from any synth manufacturer. Every synth you see here, well, underneath all these covers, and every synth you've ever seen on my channel, I bought myself full price. If I ever do someday get a free something from a manufacturer to review, I will let you know ahead of time that, hey, I got this for free to review. So today we're going to be talking about a keyboard stand, and hey, I got this for free for review, okay? I have a couple different YouTube channels, and for whatever reason, the synth manufacturers don't want to send me stuff, but that's fine. But my other channels, and particularly my Goldwing Docs motorcycle channel, man, these people want me to review everything. I get probably 2 to 3 requests a day to review some cheap Chinese crap that they want to sell, and they see me as free advertising. I'm really, really picky about what I accept, and that is the reason why when I saw this, I thought, a keyboard stand? Seriously? No. But then I had a look at the keyboard stand, I'm like, huh. This is actually different. This is not like any keyboard stand I've ever seen before. Not only is it good as a keyboard stand, it could be used for any number of things in your studio, and it has a couple interesting features. So let's take it out of the box, put it together, and see if it's any good. And if it's not, I'll tell you it's not any good. All right, this is from Liquid Stands, not a brand I've ever heard of. And as you can see, it is a square stand made out of very heavy metal. Feels like it's heavy enough that it's going to be steel, and it has lockable casters on it, and you can adjust the height on it. So it was different. I thought, you know what, you could use that for something other than a keyboard. Let's open it up and see what's inside. It's really heavy, this box. All right, here's all the different parts. Get rid of this foam. Accessories, let's see what's in here. So we got some knobs, bolts, straps, fastening knobs, and I assume these are going to be the casters in here. Yep, those are the casters. All right, so let's take everything out of the plastic. Okay, the first thing I notice is that this is very heavy-duty steel, and it's welded together at all the different points. It's a really high-quality finish. I'm actually really surprised at the quality of this. Unlike a lot of stands that just depend on, cheap steel nuts to fasten the threads in, these have hardened steel fittings inserted into the pieces that everything threads into. These casters are really heavy-duty casters. They're like, these would support a car. You could roll a car around on these. These are serious. I mean, if you have a look at these casters, these are serious casters. They're heavy duty. They're lockable. I mean, look at the size of these things. You could put hundreds of pounds on this. They also included a picture of the company. This is actually an American company. It says they just started with two employees in Tampa, Florida, and now they have 15 employees, and they are continuing to grow. So they're very proud. And there is the team that makes these stands. They got some really cool stickers, a whole bag full of stickers. That's nice. I guess this is probably going to be in instructions. Yep. Okay, I like this already. assembly time for drummers and for everybody else is 1.5 beers for us keyboardists. Okay, so I will not make you sit through me putting this thing together, but I will record me putting it together. I'll just do it in a time lapse so you can watch this thing come together as I do it. Well, one of the problems I'm finding here is that you're supposed to put the caster and screw it into there, which is fine. You can do that. And the idea is that when you get it in there all, close to all the way, use this little wrench on here like this to tighten it up. The problem is that it gets so tight that there's nowhere for that wrench to fit in there, so you can't actually tighten it. So I've tightened this one by trying to push it from the bottom here as best I can, but that's about as good as I can do. So that's definitely a fault with the engineering or design there. Okay, so it's together and it is remarkably strong. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could sit on this. Yeah, I can put my whole weight on that. This thing is just a beast of a stand. Had a little bit of trouble getting it together. The instructions are good, but they're not great. It basically says, put these parts together, but it doesn't really show you what part is what. And it says, for instance, 2, attach the cross beams E, F, and G to the sides. Okay, so what's E, F, and G? Well, it shows them here, but they all look exactly the same, and they're not the same. So I kind of just had to figure it out and guess. So the instructions could be a little bit better. I had a problem with the casters, as you saw. You can't screw them in tight. So what I ended up doing was using a hammer and a screwdriver, and I kind of just knocked that little spiked wheel to tighten them in place. It does have all these extra screw holes all over, and I'm like, what is that for? Well, it's got these straps, so you can put these straps anywhere you want, so you can strap the keyboard in place. So I guess if you're playing outside, the keyboard isn't going to fall off or blow off or whatever. I don't think I'd use that in the studio, but it's definitely a capability. These pieces here, you can loosen and move to anywhere you want, really, here. And you can actually move them over into these here if you want them a little bit closer. So that's fairly adjustable. And you can turn it around, so if you want it a little bit farther away, you can do that as well. Then of course you have these adjusters here. So on its lowest height, it's about 27 inches. Actually, I could probably get it a little bit lower if I took it out of this first attempt. Oh, and I did have these plastic pieces here on the one arm that were broken in shipping. It does have this headphone holder on the side here where you can hang your headphones. You can choose whether you want to put that on or not. So undo these and pull them out to release it. There, okay, so that's the lowest height it can go right there. And that is just a hair under 26 inches. So let's lift this up and see how high it goes. Boy, these are, you need 2 people to do this, because unless you take these out entirely. I guess I could unscrew it till they're totally disengaged. Maybe that'll work. No, they definitely have to be pulled out. Okay, well, let's see if we can figure that out. I'll have to do both. Okay, no, that's not going to work. So you basically, these screw things here, if you screw them all the way in, they're locked. If you screw them out a bit, then you can pull them, and that releases them. But you have to pull all 4 of them at the same time in order to raise it up and down. And unless you have 2 people, that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to screw these way out. Nope, not all the way out. And hopefully that'll release it enough that I can lift it up. And that was too far again. Okay. Yeah, that works. Okay, so let's see how far. up it can get. I suppose you could just put all but one in. Like I said, you probably need 2 people to do this, realistically. Okay, so that, I think, is the highest setting there. All right, highest setting is 36.5 inches. So let's put it down a little ways. Once these are screwed in, they're incredibly strong, as long as you don't unscrew them by accident. And I still have these broken plastic pieces here. I'll write to them and say, hey, can I get replacement plastic pieces for that? Okay, this knob has just gotten stripped. It no longer turns. Yep, it's definitely stripped. That's not great. I'll use that wrench. Nope, it's the wrong size wrench. All right. Let me get a wrench. Oh, I see what's happened. Okay, so when this is inserted, it pulls out, and that's what is used there. And what happened was it was partially pulled out, and then it got turned, and then it was slipping in the plastic. So I think it was probably operator error there. Let me try and put it back in and see if it turns properly. Oh, that's what it was. See, it's doing that because it's not seated. It's by design. Oh my gosh. Okay, I was all ready to slag this off for a poor quality knob. Turns out that's incredibly good design. I am now so impressed with that. Okay, so it's just a way of making sure that when you put the knob in, it's securely latched so that your expensive synthesizer doesn't go tumbling. So this is a nice little cart that you can put your synthesizer on and then wheel it around in your studio. And you might also notice that there's these little holes all over the place, and they supply you with a bunch of extra screws for that. And the reason for that is that you don't have to use this as a keyboard stand. It could be a table. So you could just take a piece of wood, slap it down on there, screw it in through those holes using the screws that they actually give you, and now you have a really sturdy rolling table. That's really cool. So let's put a synthesizer on it. Here, I'll grab my Montage 7. This Montage 7 is still for sale if you're looking for a really great Montage 7. I have it listed on Reverb and Sweetwater Gear Exchange and Facebook Marketplace. But if you want to contact me directly, I would be happy to sell you my Montage 7 at a reduced rate because Reverb and all those other guys, they take a big chunk in commissions. If you want to avoid that and save a few bucks, let me know. So look at that. The Montage 7 is almost 50 pounds, and this cart is like rock solid. It's moving around like there's nothing there. Really impressive. Yeah, I'm really impressed with that. Something I would probably change. Let me just take the Montage off there. If you notice, it was sliding around. These are kind of slippery. So I would probably get some anti-skid or anti-slip rubber and just adhesive rubber and just put it on there to keep the keyboard from sliding around. And then, of course, if you want to, you can kick down these locks on the casters. And now this thing is not going anywhere. It's rock solid. So this, yes, it's good for studio, but I could see this on the stage as well. I mean, it doesn't break down, not easily anyway, but it's definitely roadworthy. It's heavy duty, it's strong. The caster installation, that was unfortunate. These broken pieces that were broken in shipping, unfortunate. But other than that, it's a pretty impressive stand. I will put a link to this in the description below in case you are interested in buying your own stand. I will admit I don't even know what the price of this is. I didn't look it up ahead of time. I'll put it up here on the screen. Hey, and if you do want to buy one of these, hey, use my affiliate link here. I'll leave it in the description below. Really helps me out if you do that. Let me know what you think. Is this a worthwhile stand you'd be interested in purchasing? It's Liquid Stands is the company, American made. I'm actually really impressed. The very first free thing I get to review on my channel, and I like it. And if you like what you saw here today, please click like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I really appreciate it if you do. Thanks for watching.